we got so many good letters in the mailbag this week that I'm probably going to have to deal with some of them in the members block, because there are just a lot of them that I wanted to talk about. But one that I want to mention here, and I will get to it more in the mailbag section. I'm not going to answer it here, but I just want to mention it. It's from a lady named, I believe it's pronounced Jenny, Jenae, but I'm going to call her Jen because I don't want to keep mispronouncing her name. And she describes herself, I love this, she describes herself as just a mom of 5 trying to do her best. I love that, she's just a mom of 5 trying to do her best. And Jen has a son who's autistic, and he's 13, but he has the emotional age of about 3 or 4, which is really a tough situation. It is really tough to deal with a child like that. And so Jen is not just doing the work of a hero raising 5 children, which is already heroic work. She's got even more heroism. She's displaying even more heroism by dealing with this difficult kid who she says is a delight. And the kid loves Buzz Lightyear. And she wants to show him the new movie, Lightyear, right? And if you're a parent, you know what this is like. You know what it's like to have your kid delight something. I remember scouring little shops in New York trying to find my daughter just something about Pinocchio because she loved Pinocchio. You really wanted your kids to have the things that delight them. But in this film, Lightyear, they keep saying, oh, there's one chaste lesbian kiss. It lasts for a second. They're lying. They always lie. They lie because they know they're doing the wrong thing and they want to hide it. But first they say we're not doing it, and then they say, oh, and if we are doing it, you're a terrible person for pointing it out. What happens, and I haven't seen the film, this is what I've been told and what I've read about and what I see in this clip that I'll show you, is that Buzz Lightyear keeps coming back and his best friend is a woman. She gets married to a woman. They have a child together in their lesbian marriage, and then there is a chaste kiss. Here's this, what's in the film.
Oh, I got engaged.
Oh, wow. That's great. What's her name?
Kiko. She's one of the science crew.
You got engaged to someone you just met?
Buzz. I met her 3 years ago.
Oh, right.
Now, I want to make it absolutely clear, once again, this is not about whether I accept lesbian couples, which, as it happens, I do. It's not about whether Jen does. The question is, who speaks to her children about sex and whether or not there is a norm and a core culture that they should maybe find out about first, or that she wants to support and stand against, lesbian marriage, whatever she wants to do. It's who is going to teach her children about sex. The mom and dad family, the person who has given her life to raising these children, to doing the heroic work that she's doing, who is going to make this decision? Or is it going to be the people who brought you Harvey Weinstein, the people who brought you the casting couch, the people who trade off child actors at pool parties with their gay mafia and pass them around and ruin their lives and never get caught and never pay a price, the people who've been divorced 5 times and have children out of wedlock who end up in rehab writing memoirs about their famous family who destroyed their lives. These are these skunks who believe that their sexuality should be imposed on you or preached to you when you are acting by the highest level of human sexuality, which is in a devoted marriage in service to the children it produces. You have the authority. This lady Jen has the authority and the wisdom that she gets from doing the job she does, and these people have nothing except talent. Talent is blind. Talent goes to all kinds of people. There are wonderful, talented people, and there are talented people who are absolute skunks, and all of them seem to be working at the Disney Corporation. I just have to quote this because it really caught my eye. Megan Basham, our friend that we love, she tweeted this week a source message. He'd taken his family to Disneyland, I guess, where he counted no fewer than 6 male to female trans cast members. I happened to read the note as my kids and I were waiting online at Silver Dollar City in Branson, a gorgeous park with fun rides and Christian music playing everywhere. So I'll say more about this letter in the mailbag section. But if you don't think this is cultural/sexual imperialism, then listen to this. Why, if it's not, why does the state of Colorado keep hounding Jack Phillips, the cupcake guy, the baker, the guy who won't make a cake for a gay wedding because he doesn't believe in that? Are there no other bakers in Colorado? Is Colorado actually is it a bakery desert? They keep coming back at him, and that's not the message he wants to deliver in his arts. But they can't have anybody say that. They cannot have anybody say, no, I'm not going to do that. This push to put explicit gay sexual material into schools, especially at the youngest level. And when you stop it, they say, well, that's book banning. That's censorship. But no, it's not. That's not book banning. It is not censorship. It is not book banning or censorship to keep explicit material out of the hands of children. And it's not even book banning to keep material that's not explicit, but you don't like it out of the hands of children. You are in charge of your children. Know why? Because you do the work that has to be done. They've been trying to take that work away from you. Every time they say we have to support women, what they say is, well, we need more daycare. You know, and we need free preschool. You got to have free preschool because otherwise you might teach your children things that we the state don't want them to learn. And by destroying, of course, the family, the state gets ever and ever stronger. Listen to the way CBS covers the movement by parents trying to keep these books out of the hands of their children because they want to be in control of what their children learn about this basic relationship in human life. Here's CBS News.
Well, we want to turn now to the sharp rise in book bans in America's schools and libraries. A recent study found hundreds of books, mostly focused on LGBTQ themes or racial issues, have now been forbidden across the country. CBS's Elaine Cajano goes in depth.
A small Michigan town is locked in a war over words. The battle is over these 5 books with LGBTQ themes.
These books and lifestyle choices are destructive and wrong.
Last month, a group called the Jamestown Conservatives led a successful drive to essentially defund the library. They want those books removed from the shelves.
I feel like we've kind of stepped back in time talking about book banning.
Library Board President Larry Walton opposes moving or removing the books, calling it censorship.
It's heartbreaking to be associated with this situation.
Oh, it's heartbreaking that he can't show his gayness to these children, that he can't show gay material to these children. It's all a question of who decides. This is basic Thomas Sowell. It's not what's right or wrong. It's who decides. The parents. Completely. It's 100% in the parents' hands. And the fact that they want these books out of the school, just get them out. There shouldn't even be a discussion. Just take them out. You know, I don't even care if it's something where we all agree that they're wrong. They still have the right to do this. But this is different. This is an attack on the family. And again, it is not gay people attacking the family. It's these leftist activists. It's the leftism that infiltrates that takes over people's identities, first saying, if this is your identity, then you're with us. And then, of course, throws you out if you're not that. If you're a black guy who says, I'm not supporting the Democrat Party, then you ain't black. And if you're a gay guy who says, I'm not supporting this, you ain't gay. You're not part of it. All they mean is that you're leftist. That's all they want. And if you disagree, they will destroy you. You know, the thing is, because the left owns all of the communication vehicles, except this one, except a few, but I mean, they own the mainstream ones. They set the norms. So the questions that are asked of candidates as we approach the midterms, they're all going to be about abortion, trying to make people who oppose the killing of babies in the womb, trying to make them sound like the extremists, right? That's what they're going to do. And they never ask what the other people believe. This is a woman who this is one of these Trump candidates that everyone's doubtful about. She's running for governor in Arizona, Kari Lake. She has been really kicking butt and taking names. She's been doing a great job at handling the press because she understands every time they ask a question, they're not asking a question, they're setting the norm of the conversation. And here she is fighting back.
Tell me, abortion is effectively banned in the state right now. Tell me, is that something that you support?
I support saving as many lives as possible. And what I really want to know, and I've been waiting, I tune into you guys all the time, I want to know where Katie Hobbs stands, but I never hear you guys ask her that. I'm pro-life. My plan would be that every woman who walks into an abortion clinic know that there are options out there. They don't have to choose that. There's families who would love to adopt a baby. And right now, the way it's been going, they go in and they only have one option.
That's it.
Nobody tells them that there's other options. We want to help our women. If they're afraid, we want to help them. We want to give women health care, and I want to help people. But I really challenge you, and I'm happy to get back to you on this, when you find out where Katie Hobbs stands, because let me tell you where she stands. She supports abortion right up until birth and after birth.
That's right.
She supports if a baby survives a botched abortion, that that baby die on a cold metal tray.
That's the way you handle that. Because they're setting the norm. Where do you stand? How extreme are you on this question? You know, when they say to Republican candidates, do you believe in abortion in the case of rape or incest? The answer to that is, well, does my opponent believe in it in the case of wanting a girl instead of a boy? Does my opponent believe in it if the child happens to be redheaded instead of black-haired? Does my opponent believe in aborting a child because it happens to be Sagittarius instead of Leo? When do you say no? When do you say no? Why let them set the norm, right? The norm should be life, right? The norm, of course, should be letting a child live. This is why, when they come off after Herschel Walker, the Senate candidate in Georgia, ex-football player, obviously has had a hard time in his life. Now they're accusing him, plausibly, I think, that he paid a woman paid for a woman's abortion. And they're saying, oh, Republicans, look how disgusting they are. They'll stoop to supporting this man who did this terrible thing just to defeat, Warnock, just to defeat somebody who wants abortion all the time for everybody at any stage. Who he believes in infanticide. Yeah, I too would vote for this guy. I'm sorry he did a bad thing. I'm sorry he's had a hard life. He apparently had mental problems. I'm sorry about all that stuff. But what's the idea? The idea is I'm not supposed to vote for a guy who did a bad thing so you can legalize doing this bad thing. The only thing they're getting him on is hypocrisy, if they got him on that. And if they get him on hypocrisy, well, at least he has standards that he's violating. This personal destruction. If you don't think this is cultural imperialism, then look at the way they personally want to destroy anyone who stands against them, which includes, by the way, the people here at the Daily Wire. They went after Matt Walsh, who's doing, as I've said a million times, he's doing God's work going after this transgender butchery of children. Now they unearthed some stuff he did on a radio show when he was in his early 20s. And my feeling was Walsh should get out there and say, I want to apologize to each and every killer of babies and mutilator of young people for not adopting their satanic morality as my own. I'm really sorry I didn't do that. And they're going after Candace, too. And Candace, you got to love Candace. Candace was in the Paris culture show, fashion show with Kanye West, and they're wearing a shirt that says "White Lives Matter," which is as for me as true and as ridiculous as Black Lives Matter. And the New York Times, they're writing articles saying this is going to cause violence after the Black Lives Matter burnt cities to the ground all across this country. Now they're afraid that White Lives Matter is going to cause violence, but we know it's not, right? You got to say, Candace is great. She's one of the first people to go after Black Lives Matter. I should tell you that she's got her film, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. That's coming out Wednesday, 10/12. It's only on Daily Wire Plus. You want to go to greatestlie.com. You want to see this film because she really, I know some of the stuff, I haven't seen it, but I know some of the stuff she's got. But listen, they expect us to run away. They expect us to apologize. They expect us to cancel Matt and Candace. That's not going to happen. And you know why it's not going to happen? Because we know, we're not the fight. You're the fight. Your family is the fight. The people who support your family is the fight. The people who believe in your family, in the work of motherhood, in the work of fatherhood, the people who believe in that is the fight. That's Rourke's Drift. That is Rourke's Drift. All we're doing is giving you the ammunition. We are pumping in the ammunition so you have the means with which to fight. So you don't think you're alone. So you don't think the norm that the people are selling you is the norm, because it's not. That's our job here. Our job is to support you, because the culture, of course, it's the arts. Of course, it's the kind of thing we do, but it's only that if it strengthens you, because you are Rourke's Drift. You are the ones who they're trying to sing their song until you lose your morale, and you've got to sing back at them. Men of Harlech, stop your dreaming. Can't you see their spear points gleaming? They're coming for you. We are not going to leave you alone. We're going to supply the ammunition. You've got to make a stand. For more great content, like and subscribe to the Andrew Klavan Podcast.